Hello guys, so I'm just jumping on to record a video for my YouTube channel talking about the cut that I'm currently doing. So this isn't like a monthly update, but basically I started a cut on Wednesday, which was the 1st of January. I've explained on videos on here before about why I'm going to do a cut. For example, going on holiday, photo shoot and stuff. And I just wanted to do a bit more of a lengthy video to kind of explain that it's not rocket science. And by that I mean, when you look on social media, you will get people overcomplicating what is entailed in a cut or a diet or whatever you want to call it. I prefer to call it a cut. Some people call it a diet, whatever you want to call it. But I just wanted to explain a little bit about a cut. So this is now I'm going to call it a proper cut because I've done diets and stuff over the years for a long time. But this is my fourth proper cut, as in I'm using a meal plan and my calories are worked out properly. You know, diets that I did when I was younger was basically like, oh yeah, let's cut that out, have that instead. I had no real idea about what calories I was eating. So I did a cut in 2021. That was my first competition year. So that was a harder cut than what I'm doing at the moment. 2022, I did another cut, again, for a competition. 2023, did another cut for my final competition at the end of 2023. 2024, I haven't done a diet or a cut at all. I might have kind of like held back on snacks slightly, but I haven't been following a specific plan with snacks. I always know what I'm having for breakfast and during the course of the day, making sure that my protein's there. But I might have been a little bit willy-nilly with snacks. So, we're in 2025, and as I've said numerous times on here, it's my birthday next month. I want to get a photo shoot booked in for May time. And the photo shoot that I have in mind is quite revealing, I should probably say. Probably a little bit more revealing than what I've done on a boudoir shoot before. And I have a holiday to Cyprus booked in May as well. So May's a pretty big month. So what I've done is what I have been doing for the last year or so, or what I would do for my clients, is I have calculated what calories I need to eat to lose weight properly. Now, I've not cut out any food groups, so I haven't cut out carbs, I haven't cut out sugar. The only thing I've done is I've calculated my calories. Now, with counting calories, I've always gone by the Schofield calculation. It is a calculation that I got told about when I was doing my PT qualification back in 2019. And basically, it's something you can find online. You put in your current weight, it gives you a number depending on how old you are and whether you're male or female. It will give you the calories you need to eat just to survive, basically. And then underneath that, you've got a separate calculation that you do depending on how active you are, and that will give you the total number of calories to eat depending on your fitness level. Now, based on that final result, you can then decide whether to take some calories away from that result, which will then result in you losing weight, or if you want to maintain, you stay at the calories it's told you to do. If you want to gain, then you add calories to the calculation it's given you. Now, I have taken calories away because I'm in a cut. So basically, I'm burning more and using more calories than what I'm eating. Now, the first week or two, or even 3 of a cut, you will always find the biggest weight loss because most of it is water. Most of the weight that you lose at the start of a cut is water. So if you lose up to, say, 5 pounds in the first week, that is absolutely normal. However, if you're in the second month and you're still losing that amount a week, that is too much, and you potentially need to add a bit more calorie to your day or withdraw your output. So that might be do less steps, do less cardio, and make sure that your weight loss is probably no more than 2 pounds a week. Now, that also depends on the size of you when you started the cut. If you were slightly bigger, you will lose a little bit more. If you're slightly smaller and you're getting to that point where it's really, really hard to get rid of that last bit of fat, especially if you're doing a competition prep, then, you know, it might be slower, all right? But at the moment, I'm not talking about a competition prep cut, I'm talking about a lifestyle cut, which is what I'm currently doing, not a competition prep. If I was doing a competition prep now, I probably would have cut out a bit more sugar than what I'm currently having. So I've calculated my calories. I'm in a deficit, which means that I'm burning more than I'm eating. Today is day 5, and I have currently lost just over 3 pounds in 4 days. Again, perfectly normal, a lot of it's going to be water weight. Now, in that first week of doing a cut, you are going to feel more fatigued. One, because you're taking calories away from your body that it's probably normally used to having, so your body feels just a little bit more tired. And where you are losing a bit more weight in that first week, even if it's just water weight, you will feel tired because your body is going through something to make the weight go. Also, if you're training with weights, at the first part of a cut, all right, it's not going to happen straight away, your strength should still be the same. So if you track how much you lift, you shouldn't use a cut as an excuse to reduce the weight that you're lifting, okay? So because you are and should be lifting the same as what you were when you was in a maintenance phase or a surplus phase, whatever, your body's going to get more tired because you're still pushing hard with the weights, but your body is losing weight. So for the last few days, I felt quite tired. And I've also felt a little bit hungry. Now, slight hunger is also very normal in a cut because, again, you are eating less than what you're burning. But you shouldn't be starving. You don't want to start a cut too heavy and too quick, all right? I am still having carbs. I'm having protein. I'm having good fats, and I'm still having a little bit of sugar. Now, by sugar, I mean I'm still having a few chocolates. So that might be Quality Street. A client bought me a box of Black Magic yesterday. So if you calculate those chocolates in within your calorie amount for that day, to still be in a deficit, you're still going to lose weight. So yesterday I had some Black Magic, but I didn't go mental with how many chocolates I had. I think I had about 4, and I think they're about 40 calories a chocolate. I also had a hot chocolate. So it was one of them highlights ones where it's slightly lower in calories. I had a little bit of whipped cream and I still dropped weight. So you don't have to be one of these people that decides to cut out carbs, decides to cut out sugar. Obviously, if you've got a health reason to do that, then obviously you need to do that. But if you haven't, there's absolutely no reason why you still can't have some of them things in your day because it's just going to make the cut even harder for you. I'm still having Biscoff, so I'm still having 10 grams of Biscoff on my oats in the morning. So I'm still having things. I'm having a bagel every day, whether it be a rest day or a training day. I'm having a thin bagel with jam. I'm having rice, again, rest days, training days. The only thing I'm not having on a rest day compared to a training day is a banana. And the snack allowance that I've given myself on a rest day is 50 calories less than a training day. So by that I mean if I'm on a training day like today, I give myself 200 calories to play with. I could have a chocolate bar with that, I could have some Quality Street with that. If I'm on a rest day, I'm having 150 calories of snacks. Now, what will happen over time, when the weight loss starts to slow down, things are going to have to change slightly. That might mean that my calories might have to drop again ever so slightly. I might have to start thinking about taking away a bit more sugar. I might have to increase my output. I might have to do more steps. I might have to do more cardio, but that's not things that you want to do straight away because if you do it all too quickly, too soon, you haven't got anything to play with as the cut continues. So I'm very happy with how things are going for me at the moment. Like I said, I'm still following a plan like I always have done, and I'm just being very mindful of what snacks I'm having on a daily basis. My output, as it stands, is the same as it was when I was in a off season, so to speak. My steps are still the same, my cardio is still the same, and I'm still lifting the same. But like I said, over the weeks, that might change. I don't know what weight or what measurements I want to get to. But what I will say is that if you're trying to build muscle and build yourself a frame that looks like you've got more muscles popping, you cannot continuously be in a cut because you're never going to build the muscle that you need. Now, you need to be eating in a surplus, but it needs to be a sensible surplus. And a surplus is you're eating more than you're losing or what you're burning. So when I stepped off stage in November 2023, I weighed around 65 kilos. I weighed myself on Wednesday after 13 months of not getting on the scales, and I was 82 point something kilos. Now, my body fat on my app has got 5 ranges. You've got underweight, athlete, fitness, acceptable and obese. Now, considering I was 82.4 on Wednesday, which meant that my BMI was higher, but BMI is shit anyway, and I've always said that. Technically, my overall weight was classed as overweight. My body fat was in the middle zone, which was fitness. So it hadn't even gone into the acceptable range. I was still in fitness. And then I think if I dropped 3% body fat, I then go into the athlete zone. But still bear in mind, at the moment, I'm 80 point something kilos. Now that means that the work I've done on myself over the last 13 months has not been a case of getting off stage, eating shit and gaining loads of body fat. Because if that was the case, I would have got on the scales on Wednesday. It might have said 82.4 kilos, but my body fat would have been pushing towards the obesity zone. Now, I will also say that when I stepped off stage in 2021 and I worked with a second coach in 2022, the weight that I got to before I started my cut that year for competition, which was in May, June of the 2022, my weight then is the same as the weight that I was on Wednesday. So basically that coach that I worked with got me to the 82 kilo mark, 5-6 months of getting off stage, right? Compared to me getting to that same weight after getting off stage in 13 months. Now that just goes to show that the calories that I was put on by that coach in 2022 was insane. And that's why when I started my prep in 2022, I was the biggest I've ever been, but I looked it. And you could tell by the pictures that it was mainly fat. Now, again, I'm not on here to slag off coaches, but you will get to learn as you do cuts and bulks and all this kind of stuff, what works for you and your body. Now, the calories I was on was ridiculous. I think I was on over 3,000 calories a day at one point. In the whole 13 months I've been working by myself recently, I have never gone over 3,000 calories, ever. But now I'm starting off, body composition wise, in a much better position than I did then. So I know, and I'm not here to kind of praise me, go, yeah, I did so good, but I'm just saying that I've managed to work with myself pretty well the last 13 months with having no coach to kind of be accountable to. I could have totally gone off the rails, but I didn't. I've managed to lift really heavy. I've managed to lift weight that I've never lifted in the past 4.5 years of properly doing this. So I'm really happy with where I am. So because I've let my body have those 13 months, I have built some muscle. So if you're starting out building muscle, there is no point doing a bulk for 4 months and then cutting again. Absolutely not, because you're not going to build enough muscle in those few months to warrant a cut, okay? I think naturally, as a female, you can gain 0.5 pound to 1 pound of muscle mass a month, okay? So if you do a 5-month bulk and you do it properly, you'll probably gain 5 pounds of muscle mass. Is that really worth going through another 20-week or so cut to reveal that? ideally you need to be building for at least a year. Because if you're thinking about £1 a month, and I've now done 13 months, that's £13 potentially of muscle mass, which is nearly a stone. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be accurate, but that's the potential. So there is absolutely no point bulking, cutting. What's the time? Okay. There is no point bulking and cutting. So yeah. So it's not rocket science. You literally just have to burn more than you're eating. You don't need to cut up food groups. You need to exercise. Don't treat the cut as an excuse to go light on the weights. You can still lift heavy for a relatively long time during a cut. Your body will tell you when you can't lift that weight anymore and then you potentially need to drop. It depends on how much you're looking to lose. Now, again, I don't know how much I'm going to lose, but yeah, there we go. It's really, like I say, it's really not rocket science. And I see these people online going, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, using all these fancy words. You don't have to use the fancy words. Give yourself a 500 calorie deficit. Once you've worked out how many calories you should be eating, go from there. It's as simple as that. And also, don't miss out meals. So don't skip breakfast and don't skip dinners. I'm still having 5 meals a day. All right? Still in a deficit. Still making sure I'm getting the important food in and still including a little snack if I want it. Okay? I hope that helps. I really do. If anyone's got any questions in regards to bulking, cutting, maintenance, food, meal plans, how many meals you should be eating a day. If you want me to explain or give more detail around the calculation that I use to calculate calories, please send me a message, okay? But I hope this helps.